Good morning, Fuse. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, I'm good.
It's such an honor to have you here.
It's very early for a rock star.
Really? Now tell us about Bra Fie. What was the inspiration behind it? Why did you name it Bra Fie?
Yeah, I mean, I had a long conversation with Damien in the making of the song, you know, about black people sticking together and actually moving as Africans. Not just black people, but because we're all Africans, but we need to identify the fact that we are all Africans. And then, yeah, I mean, if we all move together, we'll be so much more powerful. Yeah. You know, so Bra Fie is like come home, of course, our language. But it's not just a physical place for us to come to. It's like coming home mentally, loving ourselves and being who we are, being able to represent ourselves rather than trying to be someone else or trying to fit a certain category in order to be accepted, but not really being yourself. You know, so it's mentally, spiritually, and physically. You know, but there's so much work to do. But we have to start with the mind.
So
once we do that,
congratulations, for being the first Ghanaian to win a Grammy.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. So how was that experience like?
Yeah, it's an amazing achievement, man. You know, big up Ed Sheeran. Yeah. You know, when he came to Ghana, we worked on the album. And yeah, I guess, you know, the music made onto the album and they won the Grammy. Wow. So it's a
how
blessing.
Did you feel?
It's surreal because it's like we made the song in East Legon, and you get it, and for it to get recognized by.
Let's veer away from that. The Bra Fie video, I loved it. The incorporation of colors, the incorporation of culture, the kente, the going to another man's land as a king and being treated like a slave. It spoke volumes. And I like how Fuse ODG shines a light on Ghana, shines a light on Africa. You collaborated with Damien Marley, who also really stands firm.
Yes.
For his culture. And and I think it's a brilliant collaboration.
No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
But moving on from that, you kind of, when the Prince of Wales came to Ghana, Mr. Fiziala, you kind of went on a rant. I won't say a rant, but you expressed how you feel. You had mixed reactions. Some people were for you, some people were against you. I saw Dynasty London writing a whole paragraph. Amake Abebrese also wrote a whole paragraph. What was your take on that?
On other people's reactions?
Yes.
I mean, I think I said things that people were already thinking. I was just the main echo of people's thoughts. And yeah, it's just about time that we celebrated our own people, especially for the young kids. You know, they need to see people that look like them being celebrated and put on pedestals. So yeah, I just felt like we need to change the way we think. We have to, as Ghanaians, we have to change the way we think. It's no longer Broniba. You know,
we're going to get to the dolls.
We have to embrace
everything
our culture,
that we are.
You know?
Let me just ask, Bra Fie, right? And watching the video, I saw you even mentioned America, right? So you said I'm a human in Africa,
being in
but
Africa,
I'm just a black man
in America,
in the US. Touch a bit on the diaspora experience, right? Because for some of us, the only time we actually realize that we are black is when we leave the continent. We don't quite understand what it means to be criminalized for the skin of your color. And how important is it for not just Africans, but black people everywhere to make a conscious effort to understand who they are, where they've come from, and where they are going? Because that's what I get when I watch your video.
I mean, I'm using the music to be able to communicate different languages to different groups of people. There's the Africans in Africa and there's Africans outside of Africa. Diaspora. And when you're here, you don't see what's happening out there and how you're seen out there. And when you're out there, they don't really know what's happening in here. So to me, we're using the music as a bridge to communicate the different experiences. But that whole I'm a human being in Africa, black man in America, to me is so real to me because when I'm in Ghana, I'm at home. I'm not so conscious about how I look. But when I'm in the US, like you can walk into a restaurant and everybody looks at you. And it's like, they're not looking at you because you're looking good, but they're looking at you because of the way you look and why you're here. It's like there's certain places that we go to that we get looked at the wrong way, or you get stopped by the police, you get treated a different way. So and I don't blame the way they look at us because the way they've told our story over there, you know, we have a category that they've put us in. We're black African. And the way people perceive that category is so negative. So it's like you're not people don't really feel safe even being next to you. Like you can be walking on the street.
A train station and a woman will hold on to their
bag. The old woman will just cross the road or like clutch onto their bag like you're going to do something to them. But that's because of what they've seen on the TV, how they've told our stories. The kind of movies that they fund, it's all negative movies, you know, criminalized movies and over-sexualized women. So the way they look at us is how the story has been told. And it's time for us to now retell that story.
But Nadja, let me bring you in here, because before you joined us, Nadja was talking about the creative industry. Right? We've gone through a stage of negritude movement with the likes of Aimé Césaire, Senghor, talking about, you know, empowering black people, Nkrumah champion the African identity. We've gone through this. Sankara, Sheikh Anta Diop. We've had people do this. Why are we still battling with identity crisis in this day and age? From both of you. Nanaja, take it first. And the responsibility also of the people in our creative sector. Few shouldn't be the only one championing this. We have to. A couple of days ago, I watched a report you did with the former Deputy, was it tourism? Jifan Komoshi, talking about, you know, actually being authentic in everything that we do. What's the responsibility of the creative industry from your views?
From my point of view, tell the African story in the right light. He said it all. It's mentality. It's what we've been fed. We've been fed that. They show on TV. A black man is a gangster. A black man, in horror movies, they die first.
Black people can be petty. We watch movies and we're like, why we gotta die first? It's a movie, guys.
Like they die, the women are sexualized. They don't show a black woman as an intelligent woman. They show us as sexual objects. And our children, or I grew up watching that. And if I didn't have the right backbone, if I didn't have a mom who was so powerful, a mom who was so well educated, I would feed into it. So it's about time we change the narrative. That's what Fuse ODG is trying to do.
And you're not only doing that with music. I hear you have a school project as well.
Yeah, we have a school project as well. Now, just to touch on what Anadra was saying, we need to start with the young people. You know, because the way we were taught growing up, you know, it's a surprise that even some of us are woke, because the way we grew up, when we go to church, we see white Jesus.
That's true.
You know,
the local religion is presented as the devil.
You get it? There's billboards of, you know, bleaching adverts everywhere. So our culture has always been like praising anybody or anything that looks different from us, because we don't trust each other, and we're not brought up to know that we're royal, we're queens and kings, and we don't spend time with each other, so we don't really do business with each other. We're more likely to give money to someone who looks different to us. You know, so our cultures, the way we were brought up has kind of messed us up mentally, and that's why I'm saying let's start with the young people, let's start with the kids, the way we teach them in schools. Let's teach them about the history of what happened so it doesn't repeat itself. And, you know, let's just unlearn to relearn. You know, that's really what we need to do with the young people. With the older ones, it's working, but some of us are far too gone. It's like you can't even talk to some people because they feel like, no, like I don't trust black people. Like there's this perception that we have of each other that's not nice. But if we start with the young people, we'll be able to change it.
What's the name of the school?
And that's why the school is so important. It's in Akosombo, it's New African Nation, ex-Woodward Mission. So we started a long time ago. You know, we've done a primary school, we're now doing a secondary school. And I really want to emphasize on the way the kids think and fighting for what they love, loving themselves, loving, you know,
each other,
you know, exactly, you know, and us being able to build a nation where, you know, you can't really come and make us feel like we're inferior.
Jiffa, Fuse told me something about it was like 2 years ago that you would, or a year ago that you're going to do a concert.
Yes.
What happened to it? You said you were even going to involve me.
January the 4th.
Are you sure?
We're going to be doing Tina Festival. This is New Africa Festival. So.
Wait, January 4th?
Yeah.
That's amazing. We're going to start the countdown. But before that, wow, and we're all going to wear kente.
Yes.
The real one, though, not the fake one.
What if
we're going to have the boy real one. We can go to Petro for the Volta region. I'll get you guys some kente from the Volta region.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, but we have some dolls here as well. I'm excited about the festival, but we have dolls here, and I'm so impressed because, again, with the mental decolonization, we grew up thinking dolls are mi bro niba. Now I'm holding mi bibi niba.
Yes, exactly.
The Nana dolls.
It's time to change it.
Tell us about them.
Yeah, like what you said, you know, no longer mi bro niba. Why not bibi niba? Because why not a doll that looks like them? You know, that natural
looks like
hair.
us.
Yeah, they look like us. You know, because the way that we think about ourselves, how we perceive ourselves is so important. So imagine these kids feeling like kings and queens, that they know that they'll love each other, they'll fight for each other, you know, and they're not just, you know, like, it's not just those nice looking dolls, of course they're beautiful, but they're educational.
And they're looking at them as well on the
so
screen.
they're based on like historical African women.
Oh, and they're wearing their little cover.
So that's Nana Makeba, based in South Africa.
Wow.
On Miriam Makeba. And we've got Nana Kids
Nana
as well.
Makeba. Can we go back to that picture?
Yeah, so
the other one.
Yeah, if we can go back to that. So that's Nhanda from Zimbabwe.
Let's keep it that
that's
way.
Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe. She's like a spiritual woman from Zimbabwe that fought against the British.
Wow.
Yeah, so the all education. If we go to our next one.
Okay, let's see the next one.
We have Nanaya as well, based on Yasantua.
This is Makeba.
This is Makeba, based on Miriam Makeba, South Africa.
Wow.
Again, she was, you know, singing and creating awareness of apartheid. You know, so they're all based on historical African women. That's Yasantua.
Wow.
Of course, our warrior. Yeah, this is good for these kids to learn whilst having fun. You know, they're so
like
fun. They're all flexible as well, so, you know.
Where can we get these dolls?
So you can get this from the website newafricannation.com.
Newafricannation.com.
In 2 weeks' time, you can get it from Game.
Yay! We're going to Game!
You're going to get one for your niece?
Oh, no, I'll get one for myself. You're never too old to have a doll.
No, you're never too old.
I'll
You can
play
just
with
have it there, right there. You know,
I'll talk to it at home, you know.
Exactly. They listen. They love you as well. They truly love you.
It's proud of you.
I like the packaging, actually.
Yeah.
The little inscription here.
Yeah, and it's got information at the back of it as well.
At the back.
Wow.
Okay.
We have storybooks.
You also have a clothing line.
Yeah.
Tell us about your clothing line.
Yeah, it's about us living that lifestyle of being a proud new African, just having that mentality to think away from the traditional way of thinking, but rather we elevate each other and we love each other. So the clothing line is
look at it.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Aww. And everything is Pan-African.
Exactly.
The new African nation.
Yeah, Kojo Taylor designed a lot of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Carantino.
I will wear this.
Yeah.
Would you wear that?
I would love to wear that. That's beautiful. This is nice.
They're nice.
Yeah.
And where can we get them as well?
Is he not delving into music as well?
Yeah, my brother's an artist. Yeah, the guy that designs a lot of the stuff that I wear, Kojo Taylor. He's a sick artist. He's got some new music coming up as well. He just dropped Obahima.
Yes, I have
nice. Where can we get the clothing?
Newafricannation.com.
Newafricannation.com.
Yeah, everything is there.
Oh, Fuse. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. You women are looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Like I feel like
and I'm so proud
I'm not ready
of you.
to even be in your presence.
Oh, please.
I'm so proud of you. I must tell Fuse how proud I am of him.
Yeah, I think you said it like 4 times already.
No, but I want to tell him why I'm proud of him. You're not just an artist. He's a philanthropist, right? And he's really. As you're speaking to me, I'm literally thinking from mental colonialism to excellence, right? I'm copying from Murder's Excellence by Jay-Z and Kanye West. But, like, really, we need to get that black excellence, and it's refreshing to have you do all you're doing. I hope other people are inspired to also do it.
Bra Fie, that song. It's an amazing song.
Bra Fie.
So well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Atina. Okay.
No, Bra Fie. Tina is old. It's old.
It's mentality
is the new one. We need to bring our minds
mentality
back
to mental reality.
Better reality.
Thank you very much.